From the Boer War to the future, why Afrikaners still follow Siener van Rensburg's prophecies. If you talk about South African history with any seriousness, Siener van Rensburg is a name that keeps cropping up, especially among older Afrikaners who haven't let go of the old stories. His visions, or dreams, depending on what you want to call them, didn't just stir up hope and fear after the war. They actively helped the Boers during the Second Boer War itself, particularly under General De la Rey. And that's not just folklore, it's well recorded how often he saved their commandos bacon. His words were listened to almost as keenly as military orders, and often carried the same weight. Before we jump in, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Your support goes a long way. When the Boer republics took on the British Empire for the second time in 1899, they had guns and horses but not much else. Early wins made them bold, but the British soon came down hard, scorched earth tactics, burning farms, throwing women and children into camps where tens of thousands died slow, miserable deaths. By 1900, things were bleak. Van Rensburg, a farmer born near Potchefstroom, wasn't a soldier in the traditional sense. He was more like De la Rey's advisor, but not the political kind, the one with visions of danger and safety. His strange, symbolic dreams, cows bleeding, rivers running red, flags rising and falling, began to make eerie sense on the battlefield. What's important here is to note that De la Rey wasn't some gullible man following dreams blindly. He was a well-respected general and a brilliant war strategist. He trusted Siener because what he saw actually happened. Near Graspan in late 1900, for instance, Van Rensburg warned the commando about British soldiers lying in wait. They changed course, and not long after, the British sprung their trap on an empty veldt. Lives were spared. At Tweebosch in 1902, Siener warned about a weak spot in the British line, and De la Rey attacked exactly there, capturing General Methuen, one of the only times in history a British general was taken prisoner in open battle. Methuen, stunned, admitted later that he never saw it coming. Siener had. Time and again, Van Rensburg's visions helped the Boers dodge bullets, literally. The commandos managed to stretch the fight much longer than anyone thought possible, giving them better terms when they finally had to make peace. His credibility was cemented then and there. After the war, Siener's visions turned more towards the long-term future. He foresaw betrayal and a black government ruling South Africa, and he saw white farmers under threat, and eventually, foreign help coming to save the Afrikaners. He even saw two great wars in Europe, and we all know how that panned out. For decades, people put those prophecies on the shelf. But after 1994, when the ANC took over, and especially as farm murders started escalating, those old words started sounding less far-fetched. No one has a neat figure on farm murders that everyone agrees on. It's a messy, politicized topic. But ask many Afrikaners in rural areas, and they'll tell you straight, there's a pattern of targeted violence that feels like ethnic cleansing, even if the government and mainstream media shy away from calling it that. Thousands of white farmers, men, women, even toddlers, have been slaughtered since the early 90s. People have been tortured with boiling water, irons, electric drills. Grandparents raped. Infants bludgeoned. It's not just the numbers that scare people, it's the brutality of the attacks. Whole families wiped out, elderly farmers murdered gruesomely, and in many cases, it feels like the police don't care or aren't capable of stopping it. There's a quiet desperation in the rural areas. Security gates and razor wire aren't enough. Neighbors share WhatsApp groups full of emergency alerts, but response times mean nothing when 3 men with pangas have already tied you up in the pantry. For those steeped in Siener's prophecies, it looks exactly like what he warned about, rivers of white blood and Afrikaners driven off their land. Then, out of the blue in 2018, Donald Trump made that tweet. He mentioned land seizures and farm killings in South Africa, the first major Western leader to openly say something. That tweet lit up Afrikaans social media like wildfire. Here was the possible foreign savior that Siener spoke about. Red hair, strongman attitude, Western power. People joined the dots quickly, whether rightly or wrongly. Farmers who had long felt abandoned finally saw a flicker of recognition from the outside world. Fast forward to 2025, when Trump, back in office, offered refugee status to white South Africans, mostly Afrikaners, citing exactly the things that had been ignored for so long. Land disputes, violence, and political persecution. Whether you think Trump did it for political reasons or out of genuine concern is up to you. But for many who grew up hearing Siener's visions, it felt like prophecy turning into reality. All of this matters because it's not just nostalgia. Van Rensburg's role in the Boer War wasn't just to encourage people spiritually, his visions actively saved lives and prolonged the fight. That gave his later prophesied lasting weight. For many Afrikaners today, especially those watching farm murders and political shifts nervously, the old stories still hold water. They're more than myths. They're lenses through which people understand where they are and where they might be headed. For some, they're even survival guides. Whether you buy into it or not, you can't ignore how deep it runs or how accurate his visions were during the war. For some, it's folklore. For others, it's history repeating itself. And for a growing number, it's a warning they believe is still unfolding in real time. What is your thoughts? Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Before you go, remember to like and subscribe. If you like our content, hit the notification bell.